Ciao e benvenuto. I'm Valentina Stella, native Italian tutor, and in today's video we are going to learn how to correctly pronounce the closed E sound in Italian. So in the previous videos of this pronunciation series, we learned why vowels are so hard, especially for native English speakers, but also why it's so important to pronounce them correctly. And we also learned how to pronounce the vowel A and the vowel U in Italian. So if you haven't watched those videos, keep in mind that you can watch them and practice those sounds with me. So have a look at them. I'm going to leave the link in the description box down below. What we're going to do today is that we're going to learn how to correctly pronounce the vowel E in Italian. And as always, we will start with the most common mistake that you want to avoid. And that is that you never ever want to pronounce this vowel like in English. So never pronounce it like E. We don't do that. Why? Because we have another vowel for that sound. The sound E in Italian is linked to the I. We always pronounce the I like E, but never ever pronounce this vowel like that. So how do we pronounce it? Well, we actually have two different pronunciations for this vowel. We have two different sounds that can be linked to this spelling. One is called the closed E, or E chiusa in Italian, and the other one is called open E, or E aperta in Italian. They are different, so the way we make the sound is different, and they may even change the meaning of a word. So we have words that are very, very similar in spelling, but they differ in meaning because they differ in the kind of E that they use, the E sound that they use. If you want a quick example, and we're going to go through many more, if you want a quick example, that's just think of the words for and it is. Think about the word and in Italian. How do you say and in Italian? If you don't know it, there's no problem. But that's e. And the word for it is, how do you say it is? Picture the spelling in your mind. Isn't that very similar to the word for and? But the pronunciation is different. That word is e. Now, don't worry about how you pronounce it. That's what we're going to do that together. But I want you to visualize the spelling of and it is, and realize that they are very similar in spelling, but their sound, their pronunciation is different, and their meaning is very different, because with one you say and with the other one you say it is. So this is why it's so important to learn the two sounds, learn how to make them, and in turn how to recognize them. So for this video, for the pronunciation of the E, I'm actually going to make 3 videos. I've decided to break this down in 3 different videos. We already learned in this one the most common mistake you want to avoid, and we learned that we actually have 2 sounds, closed E and open E, for this vowel. What we're going to do now is that we're going to learn how to pronounce the closed E sound correctly. And we're going to practice that together, both as a sound and as, a sound inside words, Italian words that contain it. You will need to practice this for a few days. Now, practice is extremely important in everything, but especially in pronunciation. As I always say, pronunciation is a matter of a habit, and a habit is a matter of repetition. And especially with this sound of the E, since we have 2 different sounds that may sound very similar, but they're actually different, you want to develop the ear for those. And the only way to do that is that you practice it consistently for a period of time until you can actually feel the difference and make it yourself. So don't worry, that's absolutely normal. It takes a little bit of time, and that's why I'm breaking down this part of this series in 3 videos. So this is what we're going to do today. In next video, we're going to learn how to correctly pronounce the open E sound, and we will practice that together with some words. And in the 3rd video, we're going to practice both sounds together, so E, closed E and open E, with some words that have a very similar spelling, but they're actually pronounced in a different way, and they end up with having a different meaning because of that. So we will have time to practice these sounds in between each lesson. So let's learn how to correctly pronounce the closed E sound in Italian. This in Italian is called 𝗂𝗁𝗍, which means closed E. And the reason why it's called that way is because your mouth is more closed when you make this sound. So your mouth needs to be more closed and your tongue needs to stay high in your mouth, almost but not quite touching your palate. Now the placement of your tongue and the movement, how you move your mouth, are key to make this sound correctly. So keep your mouth more closed, and what I tell my students is think of a smiling face. Put your mouth in a sort of smile shape, like this. And keep your tongue high and say E. E. That's how you make the sound. So open your mouth like in a smile shape. So your mouth is not wide open, it's quite closed. And your tongue, that's crucial, is high on your mouth, in your mouth. So almost but not quite touching your palate. Let's do this together. Repeat after me. Pay attention to how you shape your mouth and where your tongue is. E. 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 Perfetto. When you practice this, you want to maybe check yourself. So really pay attention to how you're moving your mouth, where your tongue is, and if you need, you can look at the mirror when you practice this. So keep a mirror or your phone handy and look at yourself and double check if you're actually making the right movement with your tongue and your mouth. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to practice this sound, this very sound, in some Italian words that contain it. But before we do that, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're going to be notified whenever I post a new video to help you learn and improve your Italian. Okay, let's practice the closed E sound. First word that contains this sound is the word for end. In Italian, E. This is just the sound we have practiced together. So repeat after me. E. E. Molto bene. Elephant. Elefante. Repeat after me. Elefante. Elefante. Summer. Estate. Repeat after me. Estate. Estate. Elastic. Elastico. Repeat after me. Elastico. Elastico. So, let's quickly recap what we learned today. We learned that we never ever pronounce this vowel like in English. So never say E when you see this vowel in an Italian letter. Also, we learned that we have two different sounds linked to this vowel. One is called closed, e chiusa, and the other one is called open, e aperta. And today we learn how to actually make the sound for the e chiusa. Remember, this is crucial. Keep your mouth more closed, think of a smiling face, and keep your tongue up high in your mouth, and then you will have the sound. So, as always, let's put this into practice. It's very important that you practice this every day. So ideally, you want to practice this every day for the next few days, at least once per day. This takes a little bit of practice to be able to make the sound in a natural way, and in turn to be able to actually hear the sound and feel and hear the difference whenever you hear it pronounced by a native speaker. So feel free to come back to this very video anytime you want to practice this with me, ideally for the next few days or until you feel very comfortable about this sound. Also, another way to actually put this into practice is to think about what was your biggest takeaway, your biggest learning from this video. Think about that and share that in the comment section down below. That will help your brain to focus on what is important for you from this lesson, and will help your brain focus on that whenever you will need it. So it will be easier for you to remember this and put that into practice whenever you will need it. Okay guys, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a great day. Buona giornata e a presto. Ciao da Valentina.